Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about jaundice. We all have come across this condition in our childhood, or we must have seen this in our surroundings. So this is a very common term or disease condition. So we'll see the definition. Jaundice is a yellow discoloration of the sclera and skin as a result of raised serum bilirubin and is usually detectable clinically when the bilirubin is greater than 3 mg per dl. So whenever there is increased serum bilirubin level, then this jaundice is a condition caused in a human being. Mainly in jaundice, we will be seeing yellow discoloration of the sclera and skin, which is easily visible by the naked eye. Then this is an liver associated disorder or gallbladder associated disorder where there is malfunction or accumulation of bilirubin in the skin or skin surfaces, which forms the yellow discoloration of the skin. We'll see the types. There are mainly three types of jaundice, that is prehepatic jaundice, intrahepatic jaundice and posthepatic jaundice. So in prehepatic jaundice, arising from the blood before it enters the liver. So in this, the bilirubin that is increasing is not entering the liver, but it is formed in the blood. So that is increased bilirubin level in the blood is there, and that can be causing yellow discoloration, that is prehepatic. Serum total bilirubin is 5 to 12 equimol or 0.3 to 1.0 milligram per dl. So if it is increasing then this level, so it can cause prehepatic jaundice. In intrahepatic, due to decrease of liver parenchyma, so when there is disease in the liver parenchymal layer, so due to that infection there is intrahepatic jaundice caused. Then posthepatic, the result of obstruction of biliary tree outside the liver. So when there is obstruction of the bilirubin in the biliary tree, that is whenever the gallbladder is producing the bilirubin, so it causes the obstruction, and due to that obstruction posthepatic jaundice is caused. We'll see the etiology. So etiology is characterized according to the type. So in first one, prehepatic, it is mainly caused due to increased heme liberation or defective liver metabolism, and the causes are hemolytic anemia, malaria, reduced red cell lifespan, congenital enzyme defects, iron storage disease, reduced hepatic bilirubin uptake. So these are the causes associated with prehepatic jaundice. Now we'll see intrahepatic jaundice. So it is caused due to the obstruction of small bile ducts, and the main reasons are alcoholic cirrhosis, autoimmune liver disease, drugs and environmental chemicals, hepatic tumors, pregnancy, viral or other infections, gallstones, primary biliary cirrhosis. Then we'll see the third type, that is post-hepatic, and which is caused due to the obstruction of large bile ducts. So in this, the main reasons are infections of inflammation of the biliary tree, then gallstones, carcinoma of pancreas, gallbladder bile ducts, pancreatitis and drugs. Now we'll see drug causing jaundice. So previous you have seen the three types which are the reasons that causes jaundice. Now we'll see drug associated jaundice. So in this there are dose dependent hepatocellular damage, dose independent hepatocellular damage, hemolysis, cholestasis. So whenever the person takes drugs, and if it the dose get extra what is given to the patient, so due to that there is a high dose effect on the liver that causes jaundice in a person. Then in dose independent hepatocellular damage, that is when the person's body get independent of the drug, that means the drug is not acting and he needs more, so due to that also the person can have side effects and he can have jaundice. Then hemolysis, that is breakdown of the content of the blood, which can cause hemolysis and can cause jaundice in the persons. Then cholestasis is also caused due to the drugs, when the person is taking excessive of the drugs that cause dangers to the liver. Then we'll see the causes. Jaundice occurs when there is too much bilirubin being produced from the liver and unable to remove from the blood. Then a defect in the liver that prevents bilirubin from being removed from the blood converted to bilirubin to glucuronic acid or secreted in bile. Then blockage of the bile duct that decreases the flow of bile and bilirubin from the liver into the intestines. So these are the three main reasons that causes jaundice. That is, liver is not able to store the bile products, or whenever it is any defect in the liver and the liver is not able to produce the bile content. And the third one, whatever the bile contents are uh, secreted by the bile duct, that is not getting transferred, but it is getting blocked. So these are the three main reasons. We'll see the signs and symptoms. The main signs and symptoms are yellowish discoloration of the skin, mucous membranes, and the whites of the teeth. Then light colored stools, dark colored urine, itching of the skin, nausea and vomiting, abdominal pain, fever, weakness, loss of appetite, headache, confusion, swelling of the legs and abdomen. So these are the common symptoms to be noticed in the condition of jaundice. That is, main is yellowish discoloration. Then we'll move to the diagnosis. The diagnosis includes, first is history and history collection. That includes the family history, patient's personal history. Then we'll come to the physical examination. So in physical examination, mainly you will go for the clinical signs, that is yellowish discoloration of the skin, sclera, teeth, nails. That will easily help to detect the condition. Except in that, you can go for the hepatitis virus panel to look for infection of the liver function test, complete blood count to check for low blood count or anemia, abdominal ultrasound, abdominal CT scan, endoscopic retrograde cholangiopancreatography, MRI scan, liver biopsy. So these are the extra tests that can be done to confirm the diagnosis of type of jaundice. Then we'll go for the management. In management, treatment depends on the cause of the underlying condition leading to jaundice. So mainly we'll go for the underlying cause, what is the reason. Then treatment may consist of expected management at home with rest. So we'll mainly expect that patient should take complete and proper rest. Medical treatment with intravenous fluids, medications, antibiotics or blood transfusions may be required. So patients are mainly helped with the transfusions, antibiotics, medications and fluids. Then if a drug toxin is the cause, then these must be discontinued. If the person is having just drug induced jaundice, so drug should be discontinued. Then in certain cases of newborn jaundice, exposing the phototherapy or exchange blood transfusion may be required to decrease elevated bilirubin level. So if it is in the case of newborn, so mainly will help the newborn with the phototherapy or blood transfusion. Then surgical treatment may be required in case of obstructive jaundice or obstruction jaundice. So removal of obstructive jaundice will be non-surgical and surgical. So in non-surgical, it is extracorporeal shock wave lithotripsy. Extracorporeal shock wave lithotripsy means with the help of a machine they will be inserting and they will be giving the shock which will help to break down the obstructed bilirubin, and then it will be easily flushed out. Then endoscopic retrograde cholangiopancreatography, insertion of the endoscope up into the ducts in a direction opposite to or against the normal flow of the bile down the ducts. So this is also helping to break down and help in the proper flow. Then we'll go for the surgical. In surgical, it is laparoscopic cholecystectomy, minimal invasive procedure, band-aid surgery, keyhole surgery or pinhole surgery. In this also we'll make a light cut, and due to help of this laparoscope, we'll try to remove that obstruction. Then other treatment or supportive treatment includes supportive care, IV fluids in case of dehydration, medications for nausea, vomiting and pain, antibiotics, antiviral medications such as acyclovir, blood transfusions. For autoimmune hepatitis, steroids, immunosuppressants should be given. For chronic hepatitis, B and C interferons are administered to increase the immunity level. For fulminant hepatitis and end-stage liver failure disease, liver transplantation is advised. Then liver cancer is there, then patient can go for the chemotherapy or radiation therapy. And in neonatal jaundice, we advise for the phototherapy. So today's topic we have seen about the jaundice, which is very common and familiar conditions. And in this mainly we find the yellowish discoloration of the skin. We have seen the three types, that is prehepatic jaundice, intrahepatic jaundice, and posthepatic jaundice. Then you have seen the causes and etiology. Then we have seen the signs and symptoms. Signs and symptoms are mainly noticeable by the yellowish discoloration of the skin. Other than that, other tests are performed to confirm the diagnosis, which includes the CT scan, liver biopsy test, then MRI, and so on. Then there is management for the patient, which is helping to patients to help to heal the condition, which mainly includes the IV therapy, IV fluids to the administration of IV fluids to the patient. Then symptomatic treatment, antibiotics are given to avoid infections, and so on. So that's all for the today's class. Thank you to all the students.